inside the reel. For me, this is a great occasion because seeing all the people I've been working with for several years sitting in one room in the audience is heartwarming indeed. And I'd like us to, I'm just going to take a few moments to tell you a little bit about the Real Estate Executive Seminar. And we're going to talk a little bit about just why now, why here, why us. And then I'm going to give you a small overview of what is going to be inside the course so that you know exactly what it is we're talking about and what value it is we're trying to add. So we think that it's indispensable for organizations that want to position themselves at the front of the industry. We believe this industry is in the process of transforming, and in many ways, I and others, we talked about this like at the AAK conference last year. Many of us discussed this. We feel in many ways our industry is not ready for what is to come. And this seminar is one important step, the first step in trying to transform us and get us ready for the future that we see as it's going to be over the next 10 and 20 years. Why now? So, many of us have talked before, and many of us know the good news, but there's also people who don't know the good news. And so those who know are going to just bear with me for a minute as I tell those who don't know that East Africa is about to change dramatically, and that our industry is going to be at the center of that change, and it's a good change. It's going to be dramatically different, but in order for us to take advantage of those benefits, we have to change. Across the world, over the years, over the centuries, there have been certain trends that have been identified as things that drive growth in the real estate industry. Right now, East Africa is in a position where it's unprecedented. We are being faced by all of these factors are converging on us to make our real estate industry position in such a way that it's about to actually explode if we do the right things. One factor is urbanization. Some of you might be aware that we are one of the fastest urbanizing regions in the world. Actually, the fastest urbanizing region in the world over the next 10 years. We also have what we call the youth bulge, which many people lament about, is actually very good news for us because household formation is an indicator of housing demand. All those young people who are coming up in age are going to be creating families, and families need somewhere to live, families need somewhere to shop, families need somewhere to go to school. So when you see those people coming, while other people might worry about what we'll do for them, for our industry, it is good news, and we need to figure out what to do to meet the needs of those people. Economic growth, as you all know, East Africa in about 2006-2007 as a region, without oil, without a lot of commodities, in service economies was growing at about 7%. Not counting Ethiopia that was growing at 9%. Very well positioned. If we can get our politics right in Kenya and in the region, we are expecting to see that come back up. This was before the global financial crisis. Government planning is also a very good sign for real estate. When our policymakers, our line ministries, housing, local government, lands, start to plan and support this planning process, real estate values go up. We only benefit when planning starts happening. We have Nairobi Metro, the metropolitan region now, and we also have Vision 2030, as well as the visions in Uganda and Rwanda, which are being harmonized now into one. All of these are signs that our industry is going to expect to benefit. So expect good things. Overall, there's also expansion of the capital markets in the world. In 2006-2007, many of you in the financial services and investment sectors know that we had venture capitalists coming through town every few weeks. There were Americans, there were Malaysians, there were different people, always coming to talk about how can we set up offices here, because Africa is the next frontier. It's where we see growth. A lot of the mature economies, we're not going to see that robust demand we're talking about. So there was a real interest in money and capital coming this way. And a lot of it was interested in real estate and infrastructure. Other sectors too, telecommunications and others. But real estate and infrastructure were really at the center of this. So this increased interest in Africa, when you convert all of these factors together, it's good news for us. So did you know, now there's a bit of a recession in real estate overseas. So Africa and the Middle East are now leading demand, especially for housing. East Africa is the fastest urbanizing region in the world. We're expecting that by 2017 we'll have doubled the number of people who are living in cities. And at most of us are going to be city folks. Now, it doesn't mean everybody's coming to Nairobi, so there's no reason to panic. But they'll be moving into second-tier and third-tier cities, and most people will be city folk. And city people have a certain way that they consume, they have a certain way that they think, and it changes the character of a nation. It modernizes people, and it changes a culture. So we should expect that East Africa is going to change dramatically. And Nairobi is also one of the fastest growing cities in the world. You see that we're growing at 6%, but many of us know that there's a lot more people coming in than we're counting. So people like me estimated at being a much higher growth rate as well as a higher population than we've estimated. Also, construction as a place to be located. These are signs that what we're talking about, the transformation, is true, if you know what to look for. Construction, despite everybody talking about the crash and everything, has been a very resilient sector, even at the time of political upheaval a couple of years ago. We believe in construction, for those of us who believe in economic and societal transformation, because it employs people at every level, whether you're unskilled, and you know we have a lot of people who are that level, who are already grown up but didn't get an education. Construction absorbs everybody, from the most elite law firms to the most basic unskilled laborer, and it absorbs people and provides a living for them. We want to encourage construction as a strategy for urban policy, for political stability. As you know, when people have a home, they treat property and other people's property very differently, and also as a strategy for economic recovery. So our message is that the boom is yet to come. There's people who think the boom came and went, and the good news, our message to them, is that it hasn't started yet. And what we need to be talking about now is how we prepare, what the implications are if the boom is coming. Okay, I'm going to talk about this. So getting ready, what do we expect? Assuming the global economic crisis is behind us, we've worked out a few of our small political issues, and now we're back on track. Let's say it's 2011, 2012.